Hello, beautiful souls. How are you today? Ready at 11. Yay! I didn't know if it was going to be 11 or 1 o'clock today, but it is. It is 11. I am here today to let you know that you are an amazing, beautiful being of light. And you need to hone it. You need to hone it. You need to be who you truly are and shine into who you truly are, because that is the only way to serve you and to serve others. So okay, let me see, there we go. Okay, so I posted I was going to come today and talk to you about there is a better way, there is an easier way, there is a straighter path to where you want to go. And that way, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard this before, it's not difficult, it's not a big secret. It's just that it's so simple that we tend to not believe it. And that is trust. So when you trust in yourself, when you trust in you, that what you are serving, what your ideas you're receiving, the power that you have within, those visions that you're receiving or messages, if you are into the intuitive part, all of those things are your gifts. And the gifts were given to you, not so you can just keep them to yourself and start thinking, oh, that's pretty cool, I can do that, and yay. No, they were given to you so that you can share them. And this is the part where we have been completely conditioned into believing that are not ours, that they're not true, that we cannot really do anything with them, that we need X, Y, and Z in order to be able to bring them to fruition. And so the path, the easiest, fastest way for you to get where you want to get to is to trust yourself. We tend to ask 100 people, right? Our best friends, the teachers, the people that you follow online, books, whatever it is. We tend to ask everyone and their mother for their opinion on what we have inside, that we know inside us that we want to do, that feels right for us, that is our idea, our magic, right? And it's that fear that has been conditioned upon us that says, you can't do it, or you have to have a degree to do that, or in order to be successful you have to work hard and you have to put in 20 hours a day or work on 70-hour weeks or whatever it is, right? All of those things are being given to you by the society that's telling you that this is the way to get there. But the easier way is to actually trust what's coming from you, from inside, because whatever it is that was put in your heart when you were little. So remember back to when you were little. I've been posting about this a lot this past couple of weeks. Think about what it was that lit you up, that really made you feel really good, or what you wanted to be when you were a little kid. And that little thought, feeling, excitement that you had, if you still have even a little bit of inclination towards that, then that's a clue that that's what you are meant to do, or at least one of the things that you're meant to do. So you go back to thinking, wait, what makes me happy, or what used to make me happy, right? You decide on that, and then you trust that if you still have that idea, that thought, that feeling inside of you, it's for a reason. It wouldn't have been given to you if it wasn't. When I first started on my spiritual journey, I went to my mentor because I had a mentor as well. I really don't believe that we can get through all of this without a mentor, because we continually sabotage ourselves by doubting ourselves. But my mentor, I went to her and I said, I have this thought or feeling that I could help people heal with my hands. And she's like Reiki? And I was like, no, not like Reiki, like something bigger. She's like, yeah. And she goes, Valeria, I don't go around having those thoughts and feelings. If you have that thought and feeling, it's because that is something that you can actually do. You wouldn't get that idea, you wouldn't get that thought, you wouldn't get that feeling about yourself if it wasn't one of the gifts that you have. And this is key, because we all are born with infinite amounts of gifts and ideas and abilities, right? We're all infinite beings, we're all unique beings, and we all have countless potential that we're not using. But the ones that are key for you, oh, hi, Kathy, nice to see you. I just saw a thing pop up. Um, the ones that are key to you, the ones that are speaking to you, whether it's, talking to people in large audiences, maybe you're a little bit more to yourself, maybe your thing is writing, right? Maybe you want to, somebody over here wrote a couple of days ago they wanted to be a poet as a child. Write, start writing. I'm pretty sure you have things written somewhere. If that was something that you had from childhood, you have things written. Another thing I discovered for myself: start. If you don't start, if you just stay in here thinking, wishing, and looking for other ideas, other books, other coaches, other healers, other people to give you something, and you're just watching them and absorbing and learning, but you're not moving, you're not making that first step towards your idea, then nothing's going to happen. You have to take that first step. This is key. It's key in the law of attraction. The law of attraction is like, oh, think everything positive and it comes to you. Yes, that is true. But what they don't tell you, or what they're starting to say now, is you have to take the action. You have to do something. If you want to be a writer, start writing. Start writing now. Start writing a little bit every day, right? Or maybe every week, if every day is too overwhelming for you right now. Once you start writing, you'll see that more comes out, right? This is the way it works. Now, I've been an artist all my life. Art has always been in my life. I was an art teacher for 15 years. I just quit my job last summer at the end of the school year, and that's one of my paintings over there. And art has always been in my life, and I remember going through a huge spiritual awakening without knowing I was going through this about 20 years ago, after my mother passed away and my first husband left me for another person after being married for about barely 8 months. It just wasn't meant to be from the beginning. But the thing is that I had this huge spiritual awakening at that time, where I took a trip solo to Italy, and I bought this big sketchbook because art was my thing. And my idea was, I'm going to take this sketchbook and I'm going to go through Italy and I'm going to just draw all the beautiful places that I go to. And I was so scared because I was, first time by myself going out of the country to a different, continent and stuff. But I was excited at the same time because I had decided that I had a couple of choices. I could feel sorry for myself and I could tell myself that story of what happened to me, which everything that happens to you is actually happening for you, not to you. So I could have taken that choice. I could have taken it like, I'm depressed, this happened to me, oh my gosh, poor me, all of this went down the drain. Or I could take charge of my life, and I decided to take charge of my life. So I took that trip all by myself, went to Italy, and I bought this sketchbook, a big sketchbook. And I remember I went to work. I used to work in New York City, and then I took the bus from New York City to JFK. And when I'm sitting on the seat going to JFK, I'm feeling like overwhelmed, like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Am I really doing this? Am I traveling by myself? I'm crazy. Like all of this doubts, right? Ego doubts of fear that paralyze people. But it was too late. I was already in the bus. I had my ticket. I was going, right? But the fear sets in because we are used to this. And if I hadn't bought a ticket, if I wasn't on the bus, if that was like, oh, I'm going to take a bus and go to the airport and buy a ticket, then I would have turned around, right? So what made me continue on my journey was the fact that I had already my ticket, right? And so I took out my sketchbook because I was so nervous. And guess what happened? Instead of drawing, I started writing. And I just started writing, and I started writing and writing and writing and writing. And then once I got to Italy, same thing. Every time I would take up my book, instead of drawing, hi Tal, I was writing and writing and writing. And I was like, what is this? What is this? Like, I'm not a writer. I've never liked writing or reading. And I also found out the reason that I always was not really liking books is because I'm dyslexic, and I didn't find that out until I started teaching myself. It was not something that was diagnosed or looked into me while I was going to school. And that was one of the reasons that I had trouble and I never liked reading, is that I couldn't do that. But as well as others. But it didn't stop me, right? So I started writing. I discovered that I was good at writing, or that this was a way for me to get to the next level, to the next side, because I took an action. And the action was I took out my sketchbook with the intention to draw, but then I allowed myself to be led. I know this now. I did not know this 20 years ago. By the pen to start just flowing out whatever was coming out of me. And it was so healing and it was so incredibly amazing. That's when I also had my very first completely, what do you call it, clairaudience, where I went into this beautiful little chapel in Venice, and I walked in and I was just completely surrendering, and I sat down and I closed my eyes, and I heard my mother, who had passed away the previous year, speak to me clearly as you're hearing to me now, like that clear, like not like thoughts in your head, like voice, start talking to me. And I just allowed myself to be in that moment, and I had tears rolling down my eyes from the emotion, from the feeling of love that I was feeling from her. And I had this communication, this telepathic communication with her, and it was incredible. She gave me messages from my family, from my brother, from my sister. My father was still alive back then. She had no messages for him. It was really interesting and funny at the same time, because spirit does have a good sense of humor. And then I came back and I gave the messages to my family, and you know what happened? They were like, "I told you I don't want to hear about that stuff." Yes, I'm laughing now, but my family is not as open as I am. And my sister especially is completely like against this type of things. And she, I don't know if it's fear or whatever it is, or if she thinks it's something bad because we were raised Roman Catholic, that she was like, no, I don't want to hear about it. And I'm like, well, mom told me to, so I'm giving you the message anyway, right? So I did. Um, but this is what I was met with, right? I was going through my huge spiritual awakening. I didn't have someone to help me. I didn't have someone who spoke my language. I didn't have someone that I could say, hey, this happened, and they could receive it and tell me, oh yeah, you know what that was? That was A, B, and C. Or this happened because blah, 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 right? Whatever it was. I didn't have that. I only had people in my life that were very close-minded to this type of stuff. And so what happened? Nothing happened. I closed it up, right? I had that experience. It was fantastic. I still have that experience now to tell you. But that was it. I didn't do anything else. I continued going and seeing psychics so that they can read for me. I continued to see energy healers. I went to an energy healer. She had these wires, right? It was like a wire thing like this and like that, like a 90-degree angle where you hold here, and then they move on their own, right? So you hold them in front of the person, and those little like metal things move, and it tells you like where you're living. And so she held them in front of me, and they went towards the left, my left. And she goes, "Oh, you're living in the past." And I was like, "What? No way!" And I went like this with my hand. Woo! I was like, "No way! I'm in the present." And I went like this. I did not touch her things, and her metal wire things moved towards the right, which is present and future. And she was like, oh, wow, how did you do that? She didn't explain to me what it was. She didn't explain to me how it worked. She didn't tell me that what I had done at that moment of moving that piece of metal was something that not everybody can do. She didn't say any of that. And then we continue with my healing, and in that was that. Again, I didn't have any support in telling me, hey, you know what? Maybe you can do this as well, right? I don't know. I just continued on. So the more that you're attracted to something, if you're attracted to dancing, dance. If you're attracted to reading, read, right? Why? I don't know. Maybe you have something in there that you need to tell other people, right? Maybe you want to write and write your own things. Maybe you need to speak to people. Maybe you have something inside of you, like Tao, hi Tao, that has an incredible gifts at helping people with their muscular bodies, right? And it's not just physical, right? It's the whole thing, right? So I didn't have anyone to show me these things. And I continue on through life, feeling things, knowing things. And my sister will call me, and and my sister is like super psychic. She has no idea about this, okay? But my sister, when I was going through a really hard time, and I would get like really depressed because I was by myself, and you know what happened? Hi, Caroline. She would call me. My phone would ring. I was living by myself. Right when I was feeling like the worst, like, oh my gosh, I just feel like dying and crying and just getting into my bed. And the phone would ring, and it would be her. And so what would I do? I would like need to sound like I'm good because I do not want to upset her or make her feel worried about me. And so I would go and just like, hi, how are you? You know, like that type of stuff. Put on a happy face and say hi. She's like, are you okay? Everything okay? Yeah, everything's fine. Blah, 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 blah. I never told her. She has no idea. She called me, I don't know how many times, exactly on the moment that I needed her. Not coincidence. When you have that inkling of like, oh, let me think of somebody, let me call them, call them. They need you. That is spirit. That is your higher self. That is God. That is the Buddha. Whomever it is that you work with, whomever it is that you believe in, telling you, call this person. There is a reason. There is no coincidence. And don't worry if that person's like telling you that there's nothing wrong, like I did. I completely denied my sister that there was anything wrong, and I was completely fine because I didn't want to worry her. We lived like, you know, miles and miles of away from each other. It's not like we could like go and comfort each other. So being strong, I didn't say anything, but she had that inkling to call me at that point, and she's the one who's like completely like against all of this stuff, right? So it's kind of funny. You have people in your life. Everybody's psychic. Everybody has the talent. Everybody can do energy healing. Everybody has everything because we are all part of the divine. And the only thing that's stopping us is that trust in ourselves. And why is it stopping it? Because we have grown up with that, right? I grew up Roman Catholic. So a lot of shame, a lot of guilt, a lot of things. And even when I was little, none of these things resonated with me. I didn't know why. And it was difficult because 97% of the population where I grew up, which was Chile, was Roman Catholic. So everybody was following the same rules. Everybody was going to church. Everybody had the Christmas tree at Christmas time, right? So that it wasn't like here now that I am in the States and it's like so much more diverse, right? My friends are from like all different places. It wasn't like that when I was growing up. So to feel that what the priest was saying didn't resonate with me, I couldn't say anything to anybody because then, you know, obviously they would all probably tell me how bad I was, and I would have to go to confession and all of those other things, right? So anyway, kind of getting off topic. The reason that it's so difficult for you to trust in yourself is because of the way that you have been brought up. And this is not to put blame on your parents or put blame on the people that you grew up with or the society or the school or anything, because every single place that and every single person that you grew up with has been doing the best that they can at their time. It is their journey. So they have been doing the best they can to help you in the best way they can. Second thing, we all chose our parents, our families, and the places that we were born in before we reincarnated into this world. So we actually chose to be brought up in that way to learn the lessons that we learned. So it's not to say pointing the fingers, it's just bringing clarity and awareness as to why it is so difficult for people to trust themselves, to go with their instincts, to look within, and then to act, right? So all of those things have to be in order, right? You have to be able to trust, you have to be able to reject what you have been taught, you have to be able to look within, listen to that voice, your inner self, your intuition. You need to listen to that, and then this is the hardest part, you need to take action. Any action. Any action. I'm repeating that because sometimes we want to do something that's huge and it's just so overwhelming to see the end result, but you know you want to get there, but it's so overwhelming that you don't do anything. You stop. It's too much. This happened to me this morning. I was trying to get my taxes done. Not done. My paperwork already so that I can send to my accountant. And so overwhelming, right? It's my first time doing a business on my own. And I had to, like, as I was looking at all of the things, all of my expenses month by month, and I just kept getting distracted and looking and doing different things in between. I did not finish. Why? It's too much. But you know what I did do? I took some steps. I did some steps towards it. I'm a little bit closer now to being able to get all of the information that I need to send to her. So I started taking those steps. So whatever it is that you want to do, trust that the reason that you want to do it is because that is your gift. And I'm not saying it's your gift for you. It's your gift for you to share with the world, right? The gift is not for you. If you ever had like a grandma or someone like an elder who like has this wonderful recipe of whatever it is, and they have such joy doing it, why do they have joy baking it or making this dish? Because they're sharing it with the people they love. It's not because, oh, this is amazing and I'm going to eat it all and I'm not going to share it, right? No, you have this gift inside of you because you are meant to share it. And once you share it, then you can help others. You can raise their vibration. You can help them rise. You can help them go on to their next step, right? That's what it's all about. It's not about you. It's about how you touch others. I want to repeat that again. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about what I can do to touch others and help others and how I'm able to help them, touch them in a positive way. Very important to be touching people in a bad way. Okay, little joke there. You don't want to be exchanging your energy and to make people feel bad about themselves, right? Or to make them doubt themselves even more, or to tell them you must do A, B, and C just the way I tell you, otherwise it's not going to work. No, even what I'm saying right now, take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. Why? Because what I'm saying is my message that I have received to give to you that resonates with me. It resonates with my soul, my person. I am here to speak and to share the messages that are coming through right now for you. If you're here listening, or if you're here in the future listening to this, as a replay, please write hashtag replay so that we know. And it resonates with you, then great. If it doesn't, leave it, right? I'm not here to preach and say this is the only way, because it isn't. We are all completely different. We all have our own ways. We all have our own ideas. There are how many energy healers, right? And they all have their own different way of using that energy healing to help others heal. I went to energy healers while I was going through my awakening and healing. I still go to different energy healers, to different psychics, to different intuitives, to run energy and to exchange thoughts of what I'm going through. I still do that. Why? Because I can only see things from my point of view, from my perspective. Great. It's amazing. It works for me. You know how we always say, hi, Molly, everything is inside of you. You don't need anyone else, right? Everything, all the answers are inside you, but sometimes we do need somebody to give us that validation, to tell us, yes, this is what it is. And every single time, or I should say most of the time, now when I go to somebody else, they tell me things that I already know. And it's happening with my clients too. When I do a reading for them, they're like, yes, this is what I had. And I'm telling them. So that's what I'm actually doing, is giving them confirmation of what they already knew. This is what Dream Weaving You is all about. It's about awakening your senses so that you are ready and understanding what it is that the messages are. Most of us are like, I have no idea what it is. I never get messages. And then I work with them and they're like, oh, I have been getting them all along. Yes, you have. What was the missing point? The missing point is being able to reflect this with someone else who knows what you're talking about, and to give you confirmation and affirmation that you're not crazy, that this is actually the way it is for you. And it's so different for all of us, right? So I get most of my intuitive hits as a knowing. So right now I'm not actually seeing. When I say I'm seeing this, I'm not actually seeing with my eyes, I'm seeing with my third eye. It's kind of like a knowing, like I know this is happening, this is true, I just know. How do you know? I don't know. That's how I receive my messages, right? It's just something. The more I trust it, the more I speak it, the stronger it gets, the more accurate it gets. It's trust. So that is the easiest way to get to the next level. The easiest, fastest way for you to get to your next place is to trust you. I teach this to everybody who works with me, to do a body balance. Balance, is that what it's called? sway to get a yes or a no, right? So it's so empowering. My friend Gabby Briscoe showed this to me in a session that I had with her with EMN, I think it's EAM. I don't know. Sorry if I'm butchering the letters, Gabby, but it's so powerful because, and I teach this to all my clients and everybody who works with me, um, because if you are unsure of something, which we most of the time are unsure of things because of our ego, because of our conditioning, when you ask your body for an answer, your body will not lie. Your body will tell you the yes or the no. So you ask a yes or no question, like, is this the right thing for me? And if your body sways forward, it's a yes. And if your body sways backwards, it's a no. There's a lot more to it. I go a lot more into explaining how this works in my workshops. You can also take a session with someone who does EAM, and they can do a whole session with you and explain these things to you. There's many people doing this type of stuff, but I teach that one part so that you can be sure of your answers. When you have like, oh, do I do this or that? Is this the best thing? You're buying a house. Is this the best house or is that the best house? I don't know. They both feel so good. Then you can do that sway. You can be like, okay, this is the best house for me. Oh, nothing's happening. I don't know. Is this the best house for me? Oh, I'm getting a strong no. I'm going backwards. Okay, so I'm not sure about this one, but this one is a strong no, so that I can completely take it out. It's so empowering. You can do this with everything. You can do it with food. Is this the book to that I need to read right now? Is this the food that my body wants to nourish me right now? Is this the coach I want to work with me right now? Is this a session that I want to do? Is this the book I should be working on right now? Should I be working with the other one? Should I be writing some poems? Maybe I need to write a song. What is it? Right? So you have all these questions, right? This is the monkey mind going on and on and on. And you can ask your body. And like I said, again, I teach this in all of my journey sessions. And again, you can ask anyone or look it up, EAM on YouTube if you want. Whew. Okay, so one thing I would like to give you guys a little energy work today before we leave. And this has been so powerful because when I first started doing energy healing with clients, I started doing this from the beginning without really knowing why or how, and I've continued to do it. And now, like over a year and a half later, it dawned on me what I was doing, and it's so powerful. So what I do when you have a session with me for energy healing is I run the energy up and down your body. So we ground, we bring the energy from our crown chakra through our body all the way down to our toes, and then we bring it back up. And I do this several times, like 3 times usually. And then after that, I would do my Molly Rose says, yes, muscle testing is so helpful. Thank you. Yes, of course, Molly. Do the muscle testing for everything. I do. Every time I go to work with a different healer, like if I want to join a container or if I want to take a session with somebody, I do that. I get a yes or a no. It's so empowering because a lot of times I'm like, I really like that person and she's my friend and I really want to do it. And oh my gosh, this is so good. And she's going to be like upset if I say no, but so I really should do it. And it's all this guilt that I get in my head, and we all have this. So it's not just me. And then I ask my body and my body goes, yes. I'm like, okay, good. Yes. And I just do it. Or I get a no. I'm like, oh, I get a no. My body knows better. And then you know what? All of those guilt thoughts and feelings that were filling my mind and giving me that yucky feeling lift. They go away. They were non-existent. They were just made up thoughts. So using that muscle test within your body to find out what's true for you, because what's true for me is not true for you, right? I can have this ice cream right here and I can muscle test and say, is this good for me? And I can get a no. And then you can do it and you can get a yes, right? So it's not what it is, it's what is true for you. Okay, so I was talking about the energy work. So I would run the energy up and down like 3 times, and then I would start transmitting the energy on to the client. Hi, Patty. And then I would do my session. And what I didn't know I was doing, and what I had received, and I always told my clients, what this is doing is aligning your chakras, so that if anything is like off balance or like a little bit off your alignment, it comes back into alignment by running the energy. But here's the other part that I just came into awareness, which is super amazing. When you are working through your spiritual awakening or even a practice that you're doing, and you first start, you have this, it's like a trickle of light that comes in through your crown and into your body, and lights you up, and you expand from that, and it's this like beautiful trickle of light. And the more that you run that trickle of light up and down your body, what's happening, not only are you aligning everything, your chakras, if you're out of alignment, or anything else, like if you have a chakra that's blocked, it activates it, so it opens it up so that the light and the energy can run through your body easier and it can flow through you. But the more that you do that, it starts to widen that trickle of light. So if you have, and this is just for you to visualize, okay? If you have, let's say, a pinky of light, right? Ray of light going through, and you could keep doing this, then that pinky might grow into a thumb. So you have a wider amount of light coming in through your body and moving up and down. And then you see those like huge, big masters who are like completely zoned out, and they have like the, what do you call that? Qigong, where you have like all of your life force energy on your hands, and you can just like boom, and then the person falls back like 10 feet or something, or that you can move things with your mind whenever you want. All of those masters have a huge ray of light going through their bodies. They are completely open and into their own life force energy, which is what gives them the power to be so powerful and so fast into moving density stuff in our three-dimensional world that we live in. So that one thing that I started doing, that no one told me to do it, and that it just came to me to do this with my clients, has really evolved in meaning as to what it means and what it can do for you. So Patty says, I do this to know what classes to take, even when to take a day off work. Yes, trusting your body, right? When does your body need to rest? You do that. Maybe somebody's asking you. Today, somebody asked me from my child's school if I wanted to be part of the PTO. So I'm standing there with the phone, and I'm going to myself, is this a good thing for me? Oh, no, I'm like, I'm getting a no. And of course, she has no idea what that means because it's Catholic school. So definitely not. Don't ask me why my son's going to a Catholic school. Okay, that's a completely different subject. But it was like a big no. I did not want to be in the PTO for the Catholic school. Anyway, moving on. Let's do an opening of our chakras and run the energy through your body so that you can feel this, okay? And then obviously continue doing this on your own as much as you want, whenever you want, as many times as you want on your own, so that you can continue to nurture your energy going up through your body and becoming bigger, wider, stronger, and your intuition at when it receives from that light becomes even stronger, and you begin to trust it more. Okay, so let's open up our crown chakra. And the way I notice I do my crown chakra is I imagine a daisy, like a daisy flower is the yellow center with the white petals on top of my head, but all the petals are in because it's little, and it's like it didn't bloom yet. And then I imagine all of those petals opening up to the sun being life force, God, beings of light, angels, whatever it is that you're working with, whomever you're working with. And then allowing that light to penetrate you through your crown chakra, going down your center, illuminating your third eye, moving down to your throat. And here I'm feeling from you guys a scratch. So that means there's at least one person here. Okay, now it's really hurting. There's at least one person here who's got a block here. Don't worry about it. Continuing down to your heart. Good. And your solar plexus, which is right underneath your chest. And underneath your belly button is your sacral, down to your root, which is right between your hips, is the little tail of your spinal column. And then from there, run that energy down your legs, up to your knees, or down to your knees, I should say, down to your ankles. I like to stop on the flexibility joints, and from your ankles to the tip of your toes. And once it's at your toes, feel it. You feel it dancing. You feel the energy dancing once it arrives there. And now you're going to pull it back up. So you go from your toes to your ankles. Feel that energy there. To your knees. Yes. Up to your root, which is right between your hips, the very, very center. And now move that energy up through your center body. So it's moving up, up, up. Burning up my throat again. Don't worry about it. Keep going. And exiting out through your crown chakra, connecting with divine light, whomever it is that you work with. So connect there. And now we're going to bring it back down again. And you're going to notice that each time we do this, it happens faster because you're a little bit more aligned each time. So now bring down the divine light through your crown, coming down your center, all the way down to your root chakra, going down your legs to your knees, to your ankles, all the way to the tip of your toes, and allow the light energy to just dance at your toes. Let it dance. Feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it. I'm just waiting for everyone to get there. Perfect. And now pull it back up from the toes to your ankles, to your knees, your root chakra, moving up your center, exiting through your crown, connecting with divine light. And one more time, bring down beautiful divine light through your crown, moving down. Whomever it is that has the throat thing, it should be lifting. Mine's feeling lighter, down to your root, all the way down your legs to the tip of your toes. Allow it to arrive and dance there. And then bring it back up from your toes up to your knees, your root, moving up your center body, and going up through your crown, connecting with divine light. And right here, I'm holding space for you to release that which no longer serves you. I know this is a very mini energy healing. Just on the spot, I just was called to do it for you. Someone here is really having a throat chakra block. My throat is burning. It's better than at the beginning, but it's burning. If you know who you are, just do some more energy healing. Continue to run the energy until your throat feels clear and light. Thank you. Whoa. Look at me. I'm red. I'm like hot from the throat. If you know who you are, let me know. Let me know how this felt. Continue running the energy on your own as many times as whenever you feel called to do it, to align yourself and to open that little trickle of light into a wider and wider way. I'm just exaggerating with this. Oh, look, there's like light back there by right on top of my head on the wall. Do you see that? How does it get any better than that? Synchronicities. Like, what is that? How is that light right there on top of my head? Incredible. I did not set that up. Do you see it? You know what I'm talking about? This right there, that line on the wall. Okay, so ladies, I don't see any gentlemen here. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. I will be back probably Wednesday. I'm going to do a live card pulls, either at 11 or 1 o'clock in the morning or in the afternoon. And then I'm going to do another one on either Thursday or Friday night. It just depends on my schedule. I don't really like setting up events like a lot of people do and advice to do. It's just not me. I'm more of like, let me just do it when I feel like it, when I'm empty of other things when my spirit is ready and when I start to receive the messages for you. So, oh, thank you so much. Yes, isn't that nice? That ray of light. You're very welcome. If anybody wants to work with me one-on-one, this is the last month I am offering single sessions. I can drop the link for that. I was led by Spirit at the beginning of January that this should be my last month that I offer single sessions one-on-one, because Spirit wants me to really immerse myself and use my time and energy to work with people in my long-term containers, because the results of those containers are incredible. You can see so much more growth. You can bring somebody from here to there. It's like going to school, right? You go from kindergarten to 8th grade and then you get out, right? And the single sessions, as powerful as they are, they're amazing. A lot of times we as humans lack consistency, and we lack our own what is that called, discipline, to continue doing the work, and so we stop. So I have done a lot of work with one-on-ones, and people receive messages, they receive what to do, they get guidance, everything's fantastic, it's amazing. And then what happens is that they come back to me for another session, and then what's happening is that I'm giving the same advice. Why? Because they haven't taken action from the first session. And this happens to all of us, right? Me included. This, I was the same. When you join a container that actually brings you from that one spot to the next, it brings you, I hold your hand very gently, I bring you, okay, we're going to do this week, we're going to work on this, then you know you have to do it because you have an accountability person that's going to ask you about that. We're going to share about it. You're going to open up. And then once you've done that work, we can move on to the next level and then see what happens there. That's how it works. And without that, we tend to just be lazy or just not prioritize on ourselves, right? That was my problem. When I first started, I was like, I have no time. I can't do this. I cannot do it. I work all day. I was working as a teacher. I take care of my son. I have to put him to sleep. And then I'm exhausted and I'm going to sleep. I have no time. That was my story. That was my truth story. And I found it. And why? Because I was accountable. I had to do it. I had to do it, right? I was like, okay, I have to do this work before I get to over there. And I did it. And whoa, I would never look back. It was the most amazing thing that I had done for myself, in which I just completely surrendered. I did the work for myself and putting myself first, where I had put my son, obviously it's my son, right? First, for so many years, and I had completely forgotten of who I was. So now I want to bring that to you. And and this is what Spirit had been telling me, and I just had not been listening. So in January, Spirit came to me. I was like, that's it. This is it. This is your last month of doing one-on-ones. Your gift, meaning my gift, is to bring people from one spot to the other, see their growth, and allow them to be who they truly are, to show them who they truly are, so that they can in turn continue on the trickle of helping others do the things as well. Does that make sense? And it doesn't mean that you have to be a healer if that's not your thing. When you start working on yourself, everyone around you benefits. My whole family dynamics has completely changed. I was the doormat before I did this. Like literally, like, whatever my son wanted, whatever my husband wanted, whatever the house needed, that was me. Right? And there was never any time for me. It was like me, the plates, the food, the whatever it was, me. And now I have time. Now I see myself different. And so my family respects that. They give me the time. They stay away when I say I'm in a session, or I need time to relax, or it's time for mommy to sleep a little bit because I'm exhausted for whatever it is. They do that. This would have never happened before if I didn't demand it. This happened from my growth, right? So it is so powerful to be able to see things and to bring yourself differently from the way that you have been putting yourself. It's all a different perspective. It's a different point of view. It's a different way that you see yourself. And I could not have done this on my own. I could not, because I was trying. I was following and listening and reading and watching YouTube videos and doing all the things. And it comes down to someone to hold you accountable for and bring you and show you this is your next. I mean, at least that's how I am. I need someone to show me this is your next step. This is your next step. And then not move forward until that next step is done, right? That's key. What's the point? I've also gone into workshops in containers where everything is like just given to you, and it's like, here you go, it's a digital thing, and it's like, whoa, a whole bunch of like modules and things to do, and overwhelming, and it's like, which one do I do first? And it's so much time, and it's like a lot, it's very overwhelming. And then I meet with the person, I'm like, I didn't do any of it. And this actually happened to me. It happened to me this summer. I was like, I actually didn't do any of it because I didn't know which one. It was so much. I was overwhelmed. I didn't know how to do it. I need step by step information. I need someone to show me what to do. I need not to be overwhelmed. And that's exactly how I teach it. I teach it the way it works for me because that's the way I know it works. And the people that have joined my containers, they have had incredible results because we go in that way. Also, another thing that's amazing about my containers is that they don't end. So once you finish your 3 months or your 4 months containers with me, I am still there. Your throat chakra feels more clear. Ah, yes, you're very welcome, Molly. Yes, very good. And that's another reason why I'm still here, because just by listening to me and by being here in this live, my energy continues to flow. So as you're running your energy and you're in front of me with my energy, it's more potent. So that's another reason I'm still here. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh, so after your journey ends, I still meet with you. So with the people in Dream Weaving You, I met with them forever. Still meeting with them. I would meet with them like every week or every other week afterwards, and now we're down to once a month. So it's never going to go down less than once a month. I'm always going to meet with you at least once a month to see where you are, to support you, and anything that you need in between. If you're going through something, if you get a breakthrough, or something great happen or something not so great happen, and you want to share about that, you can always put it in the group, and I will always respond to you. So it is an amazing supportive place to be. And I also created that because of my personal experience of being in a place and going through this, and then that ending and me feeling lost, like, where do I go now? That was my support system. What should I do? Who do I talk to? And that for me was like really like nerve-wracking. And so I decided for my journeys, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to continue that support until you feel strong and what do you call it? On your own. Like you can be doing this on your own, and not and if you decide not to come, that's fine. But the support is going to be there once a month, at least, even after you finish your journey. So it's amazing. If you want any information about that, let me know. I will drop the link for you to work with me one-on-one if that's what you want on here. Also, I have the light language workshop that is on February 10th. I strongly encourage you to come. It's one session. It's only $55. It's a group session, and it's going to clear a lot of, they're telling me, ancestral healing. So this is big. This is really big stuff. I've had some people here who have had that from me, but it's a different energy. It's like, it sounds different. It's very, like I call it, it's like almost robotic. It's very completely different and so powerful. It will clear you out. It will open you up. It will activate you if you aren't already. If you are already activated into light language, it will activate you into this particular energy so that you can communicate and receive energy from them, and then in turn share with others as well. Again, everything that we receive, whether it's a thought, an idea, a feeling, a gift, they're not given to us to keep. They are all given to us to share. So trust yourself, know that you're a divine being, believe in yourself, and light up the world with me. I love you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.